Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at FeelThePaynePW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching my team career here on F1 2020, and it is the 38th episode now, so if you haven't already, please go do look at my previous episodes. The last race, of course, was at the Mexico Grand Prix, load of grid penalties once again at the Mexico Grand Prix, so I started at the back, but obviously had to work my way through the field on lap 1, down that long main straight, and got up quite a few positions on lap 1, got to P7 in the end, and then I had a sort of ding-dong battle with Lewis Hamilton where he was overtaking me on the straight, I was overtaking him, and it led to quite an intense battle, but the one advantage I did have over the field is everyone else was on a 2-stop, I was on the 1-stop, starting on the mediums, so I won the race from P22, and that actually led to me winning the World Drivers' Championship at the Mexico Grand Prix in stylish fashion, if I do say so myself, and obviously celebrating with the team in the purple and green and black. It was beautiful scenes last episode, obviously winning the World Drivers' Championship, and also, not to mention, we did also secure the Constructors' Championship as well, winning that. So, but now we've got one more race to finish the season on a high. We've obviously got the chance to do some activities now, as you can see, quite a few activities there, only 9 days to actually use up. We're going to use the durability team building, the aerodynamics, and I'm a bit torn here. I don't know whether to go with a vehicle PR or attend F1 sports event, but at the end, in reality, I didn't feel like the vehicle was the right way to go. I went with the attend F1 esports event, and that's what we're going to go with. But we've got so far up into our acclaim, onto our F1 team build, this is, that we've actually got a chance to buy the final sponsor slot for the car. We're going to go with Blue Star, because it's a realistic one. It's achieved the fastest lap in a Grand Prix race, and hopefully either myself or Leclerc can achieve the fastest lap in the Grand Prix race, and then obviously we get the bonus for doing so. But unfortunately, as we're advancing on through, some R&D has actually failed, so we're going to re-update that. It's not going to make a difference. We can't get it done before the Brazilian Grand Prix, but it's good just to keep updating it and just making sure that our car is up to tip-top shape as best as we can do, but unfortunately due to that foul, that is going to obviously set us back, but we still have the fastest car on the grid to finish the Brazilian Grand Prix, finish the season 2 on a high as world champions. And as we come up the main straight here at the Brazilian Grand Prix in Interlagos, and we brake heavy at turn 1 into the ZRS at the Brazilian Grand Prix here in qualifying 1, of course, into the second DRS zone on the track. Tried to get as much out of the car as you turn into the left-hander, hit the apex as best as possible, but I didn't clearly do so there as I run off wide into the track. Into the next part of the circuit, into sector 2 this is now, where it's sort of a slow technical part of the circuit as I go deep into that turn, which is going to actually cost me a little bit of time through this circuit now, and it's probably going to put me down the order slightly as we go into what will end sector 2 just around this last turn, and then it's going to be a bomb fast straight, which is obviously has a small kink into it as you just keep on turning slightly. You don't have to, it's flat out the whole way through, so you don't have to brake at all through that corner, so I consider it a straight as we into the DRS zone and across the line to only get a P6 finish just behind Max Verstappen and just in front of Bottas. So P6 unfortunately, and that's where we're going to finish up in qualifying 1, which obviously does see us through, but it's a bit off the pace of where Leclerc is putting the Payne Racing car at the moment, so a lot of work to be done. as we come across the line on the medium tyres, but it's quite a disappointing result, only being able to get in front of Stroll and Raikkonen. So we're down in P14. We go out for a second lap on the medium tyres. We go so fast through sector 1, but we can't contain that pace as we fall down to P11, which is disappointing. So we do have to go out for one more lap on the soft tyres just to make sure we do get through. And we do actually end up in P7 in Q2. So we do go through into Q3. But it's a bit shaky so far, but finally we're showing some true pace here as we're up into P2 now, just behind our teammate in Leclerc. We go out for one last lap and across the line as the checker flag waves, and we're going to come across the line, and it's going to be a P6 finish. So not great result for qualifying, a lot of work to be done in the race.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. Two very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the two DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about the rookie. What a season they've had. A well-deserved championship victory, and the pressure now surely off with the title already in the bag.
It really is well-deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, the rookie, Daniel Ricciardo, and Perez. Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty. Norris, Giovinazzi, and Lance Stroll. Vettel, Raikkonen, Kevin Magnussen, and Albon. Sainz, Russell, Daniel Kvyat, and Pierre Gasly. Matsushita, Latifi, De Vries, and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
And obviously we qualified in P6, but we do actually move up 2 positions into P4, and it's going to be a one-stop strategy from the soft to the hard, and hopefully that's the quickest way around this track, as we've only got the 2 Mercedes and our teammate in front of us now. And as we go down to the grid, it's going to be down on the red lights, and we're underway, and Hamilton gets away very quickly there, but does bog down, being held up by our teammate in Leclerc on the medium tyres. He's the only one on the medium tyres as we try to sink it round him. It's 3 wide through the centre S. We've had to go deep over the turn, and that's actually illegal. We've got to hand the place back to Leclerc. We have to slow down, and that's actually going to bog us down hugely, as now car after car has got more pace than us. We've got Perez or Stroll next. We've got Stroll next to us. Ricciardo in front of us. We're down into P5 now. We've lost positions here on the starting grid, and we're just going to hopefully stay in front of Stroll here as he tries to switch back on us. He's not going to get the traction enough, and we're going to keep P5 for the time being. But we're down a place, very opposite to what happened in Mexico as we jumped so many cars at the start, and now we're down a place. It's not often you see that, but hopefully we can obviously get that back due to obviously the track being so tight round the centre S. There weren't enough room for the 3 wide through that turn. One of us had to back off. I tried having to go round the outside to avoid hitting Leclerc and obviously breaking our front wing, and that just worked out for the worst, as we've got Ricciardo just in front of us here as we try to make a move here into turn 1, into just before the centre S. We're going to dive down the inside. There's no switchback from Ricciardo, so we do have the move done. We're up into P4 now here on lap 2. We're back up into P4, shall I say, from where we started on this race. And Ricciardo's going to have a look down the inside here at turn 4. It's not going to work out for him, and we're going to keep the position here as we come round each turn, and we're just trying to keep our car involved here keep it in a good position, and thankfully we've done that as he tried to go around the outside. Thankfully we had the room, and we've gone deep into turn 8 there, and that's actually allowed Lance Stroll to come through in his Racing Point pink car, and we'll just have to keep defending this whole way through these first 2 laps here. We just had to defend, and that's just meaning that the Mercedes and the Payne Racing car with our teammate in Leclerc are just racing ahead and just pulling out a huge gap here, and it's up to nearly 3 seconds now as I've got Daniel Ricciardo right on my tail as we come through the last quarter to go across the line for the second lap, and Ricciardo is still there, and he's still here the whole way through here onto lap 5 now. He's been a thorn in my side this whole race so far. He's literally been right on my tail. I can't break that DRS barrier as unfortunately he's still there, and every time we go round this track and round, it's getting to about 0.5 seconds, just under roughly about half a second, but then it goes all the way back to only a couple of tenths of a second, and he's just literally right there with me the whole way through as I go deep into turn 10, I think that was there, as we come round the corner at John Sale, trying to get as much pace in the car up this long straight into the start finish line, as we're still in P4 to end lap 5, and Ricciardo is still battling us hard here, keeping us honest as we have to keep going through each turn as we go into the Center S, and we actually go deep, and that actually allows Ricciardo to come back at us. We did go through, and we did actually close the door on him slightly, and we have broke a little bit of a gap, but I don't think it's going to be enough, unfortunately. And as we come on through here on lap 9, the tyres are going to start wearing away very shortly, as Ricciardo is still right with us. He's on the softs as well. The only person in the top 10 who didn't qualify on soft tyres was our teammate in Leclerc, currently in P2. And we've just got Ricciardo for company here all the way through now. And unfortunately, it's literally just me defending, and Bottas and Leclerc just pulling away, so it's looking unlikely that I'm going to get anywhere near a podium today, due to having to fight and battle with Daniel Ricciardo so much. It's all down to that bad start. I won't say poor start, because originally it was a good start, but it's all down to that start where obviously I had to go off the track to avoid hitting our teammate and breaking our front wing, and now it's just set the tempo for the rest of the race, where I've got Daniel Ricciardo right on my tail the whole way through each corner and each turn, up the main straights into the DRS zones. I can't break it. It's been going on for far too long in my mind now, as Daniel Ricciardo is pushing very hard. He's not coming to the pits. He's going to go round the outside. He's going to try going the long way round into turn 1. We go brake just that little bit earlier and push through, and we've got the move and kept the position, and that's great defensive driving if I do say so myself, as Ricciardo's going to give it another try into the second DRS zone. He's going to try down the inside. We give him the room down the inside, but we get the better traction round on the racing line, and we keep the position and keep in front of his Red Bull racing car, and that's another great defensive drive and a great defensive battle from myself on Ricciardo. As we come through here on lap 12, as you can see behind me, Daniel Ricciardo has come into the pits, and we're coming into the pits 1 lap later on this lap, which is going to mean that it's going to be possible that Daniel Ricciardo gets the the undercut on us, and hopefully we can keep the position on track. And let's be honest, we're both going to be dropping onto the hard tyres, and if we think about this logically, the hard tyres do take a little bit of time to warm up. He's going to have 1 whole lap extra warming up those hard tyres, and there's Ricciardo. He's come out, and are we going to come out in front of him or just behind him? As we come out, has the undercut worked? No, it hasn't. We've come out in front of him, but let's not forget his tyres are warmed up. Ours have not. Ours have literally just come out of the blankets. Hopefully we can keep these get these tyres warmed up as quickly as possible and keep position on track for as long as possible, as Daniel Ricciardo is still right on our tail. And as we come through here onto lap 20 now, We're down in P5 due to Giovinazzi starting on the hard tyre, which is a great strategy for him, as he's just gone very long on his first stint, and he's up into P4 and we're down into P5, just trying to stay with him. We've got DRS on Giovinazzi. We've got to make this move as quickly as possible here. We can't hold behind him for too long. If he holds us up, then obviously that just allows Ricciardo to stay in front or stay behind as we go purple with sector 1. And we just get the move done. No! And he does a lovely switch back on us. Beautiful move from the Italian there in Giovinazzi. It's a great battle from myself and the Italian there. I wasn't expecting such a beautiful move from the Italian there, but it's nonetheless, I am impressed watching in that cockpit as we have to wait a little bit longer to get the move done. As we tried to down the inside, he switches back on us, and hopefully we can get him on the next pass. And it's just another lap that he's holding us up, meaning that Ricciardo is right on our tail the whole way through. Hopefully, if Giovinazzi's holding us up this well, hopefully he can hold up Daniel Ricciardo in that Red Bull racing car just as well as we go to DRS with overtake, with rich fixture, and it looks like it should be an easy move. We're going to dive it down the inside to control the corner, and yeah, that's another move done. And we're back up to P4, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully Giovinazzi can hold up the Australian in the Red Bull racing car now. And as you can see, the gap is over 1 second now here on lap 23 as Giovinazzi has pitted. We've come through for a fastest lap on lap 23. Leclerc has now set another fastest lap. We're trying to catch up to the Mercedes driver, Valtteri Bottas, up ahead to see if there's a chance of a podium, and we've set another fastest lap. We are pushing this car as quickly as possible to catch up to that finished driver. Can we have one last podium to end the season after what it has been quite a difficult race for myself after that lap 1 incident? We've got a car blue flag back marker in front of us in Nicholas Latifi. Hopefully he doesn't hold us up too long here. He's given us the way round the outside there, and thankfully so, which has actually maybe done us a great job there, as that may have slowed down Bottas as we come on through here on lap 34. We're right on the tail of Valtteri Bottas. Can we make a move here? Is it going to be possible to make a move? We've got DRS, we've got rich fixture, we're not going to use overtake, we're too far back for the time being. We're going to try to save it as we set the fastest lap of this Grand Prix, but we've only got 2 laps to get the job done to get this podium. Is it possible to get one last podium for the season to round off what has been such a successful campaign as we come through here on the end of lap 35 to start the last lap of the Grand Prix? And we're going to make the move round the outside, and we get the move done, and that's a lovely overtake on the finished driver, and we're up into the podium place now in P3, just behind Hamilton and Leclerc, with Bottas behind us. And I do think this has been one of the hardest Grand Prix of the calendar, to be honest, after such a terrible start, what looked like such promise once I got side by side with Leclerc, but unfortunately it has been quite difficult, and we're only in P3, but that could all change with Bottas right on our tail. If he's going to get DRS down that long straight. Can he make a move here on this last lap? Is it going to be a podium? Is it not going to be a podium? We're in the position at the moment, but it's just about defending as much as possible. Getting a great exit out of John Sao. We're up onto the last main straight now as Leclerc crosses the line to get the fastest lap. We're not going to get the fastest lap. We've got 2 red sectors, but that's not going to matter because we come across the line to get P3 and to end such a quality season.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. It's been a roller coaster season then, but they can go into the winter with their heads held high after an emphatic victory here today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium. An incredible day of
As
racing.
you can see,
Who was your driver
obviously,
of the day?
we are the world
Charles Leclerc
champion.
showed exactly how
Leclerc
to manage
obviously
yourself out
gets
on the track
the
today.
P1,
He was almost
Hamilton the
flawless out there.
P2, myself the
Incredible stuff.
P3.
The Constructors'
It's not going to
Championship
really
may be a
change the
foregone
driver
conclusion
standards
at the
too
moment,
much,
but
as it is the last race of the
let's look at
season. That is where,
standings.
obviously,
Meanwhile,
the season
Renault
ends now. That
with
is the
another
season
strong
2 for Ferrari.
performance this weekend.
We get
Well,
P1 in
and
the
to
Drivers'
another
Championship, Max
fantastic
Verstappen in
weekend of racing.
P2,
Thanks
Leclerc
to
in
everyone who
P3
joined
in our
us,
teammate,
and we'll see
and
you for the
Hamilton
next
moves
one.
up into P4, dropping Sebastian Vettel down into P5, and we obviously get the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari is second, Mercedes in third, and obviously after such a hard start to the season, let's be honest, I didn't really get a win, I think, until like the 7th or 8th race in, something like that, and then I got 2 DNFs in that sort of period as well, so I wasn't looking likely to get the World Drivers' Championship until like a great late resurgence in the last couple of races, and we are the world champion, and that's where we're going to finish season 2. If you have liked the season, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I've been at FeelThePaynePW. I'll see you on the next episode, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.